So, um, I think it starts off when at the house looks like an old antique house, and the guy had a book, um, something to do with um, evil stuff and undead stuff. So this guy was reading it and had a spell onto it, but he didn't know it was a spell, so he started reading it. And when he read it, then then all of a sudden it cuts to the graveyard, um, and all of a sudden you see the hand pop out, uh, and all of a sudden you see um, her hand is like black, like leather gloves,
Go.
What's going on, everybody? This is AJ Capasso here with Coventry Circle Paranormal, and I'm here with my good friend.
Robin from Huffern Paranormal.
And you're watching another episode of Talking with the Source. Real quick announcements before we talk about the amazing guest we have on today. We just want to make a big announcement and let everyone know that we are officially sponsored and a part of Global United Paranormal Foundation. We want to thank them all so much for the opportunity, as well. Paratech Laboratories, which will be releasing. It's going to be a game changer for paranormal equipment. Super proud of all the guys over at Global and everything. What's up, Brian? Love you, my brother.
Hi, Brian.
And we're just super pumped for the future and for what's to come, for talking with the source, but better yet, our Parapost crew and what Parapost is going to be doing soon. If you haven't heard of Parapost, I tell you what, you better head over.
Get over and check them out.
Yeah, you better head over and check it out at www.parapost.net is the website. It's also available on iOS and Android. But better yet, if you like paranormal and you like paranormal podcasts, Parapost Network Central on Facebook is the home of amazing paranormal podcasts where we are streaming live right now from. So head over there. We got a great community that believes in para-unity. Great community of people. If you like live investigations, head over there. And like our buddy Brian that you see on the screen, who just commented, "Hey guys," he is the founder and is also a part of an amazing group on Paraflix. He is on Huntophobia, so check him out on Paraflix. We want to give a shout out to PD Region Paranormal, our good friends. And we also would like to give out a shout out to Paranormal Consultant, another great friend of ours, part of our Parapost crew. And we want to give a shout out to our friends from the Down Under, Night Watchers Paranormal out of Australia. And also, like I said before, give a shout out to our sponsor and great friends over at Global United Paranormal Foundation.
Absolutely.
Paratech Laboratories, like I just said, they will be releasing soon. And man, you're going to want to check out the stuff that comes out, which we will be putting up stuff for you to hear about it the minute it does, because we're super excited for these game-changing, equipment in the paranormal field that no one has done before. It's kind of weird to say that, but let me tell you, from what I've heard so far, you're going to love it, honestly. Not only that,
Hey,
we
Matt.
want to give it to FCD Ghost Boxes in the UK. You can check them out at www.fcdboxes.co.uk. That's our sponsor. We had them on 2 shows ago. Definitely check out our past shows, learn more about it. But better yet, dude, today I want to let you announce our guest, because we have an amazing person on right now. He's from the group Pasadena Paranormal, and I'll let you introduce him.
Yes, it's a guy I've been friends with on YouTube and Facebook now for a while. Jared Tracy. He runs Pasadena Paranormal. If you're going to check his page out on any of the social medias, it's Jared Tracy Pasadena Paranormal. So if you want to check him out, have a look. He's great investigations, great methods, and an all-round nice guy.
Absolutely. Well, let's bring him in.
Bring him in.
What's up, Jared?
Hey, Jared.
What's up, folks? How are y'all?
How's
it going?
Happy Saturday to everybody.
Happy Saturday, right? Definitely better than a Monday. Quite not.
Definitely. Definitely.
Right?
Although I am getting work like a dog over here on this Saturday, but I'd rather be home working instead of at work.
Get it, man.
So
again, feel you, man. I've been dreading the spring cleanup now as it gets closer.
Well, yeah, well, it's here now. It's here
I
now in
know.
Pasadena. I can tell you that.
Oh, you ain't lying there, my friend. Well, listen, first question I wanted to ask was, so how many people are in Pasadena Paranormal, man? Because I thought I was gonna maybe meet a couple of them because I have seen, obviously. I don't want to give it away to our viewers if they haven't seen it, but I'll let you explain. Tell us a little bit about what your team's about. And just a little bit about you guys and yourself.
Well, the team consists of the original founders of the team were me and Brent Smith. Me and Brent have been doing this for about 25 years since we were 16.
Okay.
Brent lives in South Carolina, so he doesn't make all the investigations. But when he does, he takes the 8-hour drive up, investigates, and we're up until 4:30 in the morning, and he leaves at 8:30 in the morning for the next 8 hours back down to South Carolina. So the boy is dedicated. I mean, the boy is dedicated. Hey, Cornish, what's up? We got Ed Harden. Ed has been in the paranormal field for 8 years. He's our sensitive. Ed has he has got the extra feelies, the tangle guys out there going around. And we got that guy in there, and Jackie, my fiance, is the fourth member. She's the case manager. She looks up most of the history, the places to go. She's also becoming an excellent investigator. Just a few weeks ago, we did a public ghost tour, and Brent and Ed couldn't make it. It was only me and Jackie Took an entire group by herself and led the entire group, and she did a hell of a job.
They are. That's what you want, isn't it? That's what you want.
Yeah, she's doing very good.
I'm gonna tell you what, like, I honestly thought that she was an expert just by some of the pictures I've seen. She's taken. She's like, she's got the whole professionalism down, my friend.
Well, she's very good at taking pictures. She also has a travel channel on the road. She started a travel and videos.
Oh, that is awesome.
And that's one thing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Hey, plug her thing in, her channel in if she's got one, or wherever she posts that stuff.
Yep, it's on the road. It's on YouTube. It's in my community. If you go to our YouTube channel, if you go to the community tab, Jackie's channel's in there.
Okay, cool.
Excellent.
Cool. So, Jared, not Jared. Robin, go ahead. You can go next because I know you have something you wanted to ask.
I was just going to ask you about some of the equipment that you actually use, Jared, because obviously, as paranormal groups, we all tend to use, most paranormal investigators will have a K2. Most will have a voice recorder and stuff like this. But I've seen some of the things. I mean, for instance, I was going to ask you about was it the Benson house you were at? The Benson. Yes. And you were doing the investigation. You had some kind of a spirit box thing there. What was that you were using?
Well, our spirit box that we use is a SB7 that we detuned. That we take out. I took the antenna out, you can't fully detune a spirit box.
Yeah.
Anywhere, if you're close to an FM tower, you're still going to get some RF coming through, but it's going to eliminate a lot. You can't eliminate AM frequency with a detuned box, but ours is detuned, and we have a noise gate. I know a lot of people like to use the Portal, and that thing's expensive. So what we did is we bought a $30 noise gate pedal, turned it from AC voltage to being powered by and we plug it in line with our inline speaker.
Dude, that's awesome. That is
so $30, you got yourself basically a Portal speaker.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Hey,
some of the responses out of it were amazing as well.
Oh yeah. We also use the Echovox, and a lot of people don't use that anymore. Like I said, we were doing this for 25 years. We took a little bit, 5-6 years off, but Danny, Big Beard Studios, has created the Echovox a few years back, And what it is a app-based technology that has a echo loop, continuous echo loop through the speaker and the microphone, and a random phoneme, not database, but just chatter.
Yeah.
It's a book that was read, audio book that was read and reversed and chopped into 0.336 milliseconds. Each word was chopped and thrown in there. So to get a word, it's almost impossible. And we're getting full sentences. So it's like, how's this working?
Yeah, no.
Sometimes you got to do these things like that. You get great responses because you can then, like you say, it's hard to get anything through it. So if you get a couple of words or a sentence, it's like, well, there you are.
Well, wait, these guys see what episode 4 has. I'll just say,
you can't just say that without telling us, Jared. Come on,
we're using the Echo Vox again. And the people in the mansion that we're at took care of dogs, setters. And they let us know that they took care of setter dogs. They said it. And the guy came through, Miss Dogs, where are my pups? In one sentence.
Wow. That's awesome.
Sentence.
That's awesome.
Goosebumps right now.
Right there tell you, like, as an indicator that something of intelligence is talking to you, then I don't know what will show you. You know what I mean?
Exactly. What I tell these folks, like we do a lot of historical locations, like museum and places that the general public can go visit during the day and do these, historical tours. So when we're telling our point of contacts, like, hey, these are things that are getting, caught by this, and it's in your historic ledger. I can't program this thing to say this,
No, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it blows their minds.
You're right. I just want to revert back to what you said before, just so any of our viewers who don't know what the PSB7, the detuned PSB7 you were talking about, it actually is how Ghost Adventures was using their Spirit Box, their PSB7. It's the reason why you never heard any type of radio chatter. You never heard anything come through except for when a spirit would respond. And basically, like he said, you take out that antenna. It's very, not that hard to do to completely detune it. You will obviously pick up some stuff if you are close to a tower, like he said, but it is very rare. It is very rare because I've done it on one of mine. And I tell you what, it makes Spirit Box communication tougher, but it gives you more validation knowing that this is something manipulating that frequency. And also to just touch real quick on the Echo Vox, check it out. Who haven't? I believe it's is it still $9.99?
It's $19.99. I would get if you have an Apple phone. I would not do that. I would get it on a tablet.
There you go.
Google tablet. If you have a Google tablet at the house, there is no issues with the software.
Excellent.
But it's the best $19.99 I've ever spent.
Oh no, but I love it, man. I think it's a great app. I mean, it's one of the Pikachu. What's up, Pikachu? Gotta catch them all, I guess, But anyway, but no, like you were saying, man, I love that app. That app has been around for a while now, and Big Beard Studios, they did a great job with it. They really did, and they also keep it pretty goodly updated too, from as long as they've had it out, which is nice.
Yeah, Danny stepped away from the field for a little bit, but he's back, so that's a good thing. I know he has some troubles with the iOS database.
Hey, Three
Souls, what's up? But the Google and the Android, top notch. It's the best
Absolutely.
app on the market, I think.
Yeah.
And
No, I
you know,
totally agree.
when we're on investigation and we're trying to get answers for a place, you don't have time to waste. I
Yep.
don't want to use anything else. I just go straight to it.
Yeah.
Well,
No, hey, I don't blame you. I really don't. I mean, why not, right? You know?
Mhm.
And plus audio to them, to the spirits. I mean, you're definitely going to you know, you're definitely going to get something if something is there willing to speak with you, you know.
Oh, definitely.
Robin, did you have a question? Because I know you
No.
want to, you look like you're ready to
yeah,
talk,
no,
so
I was just going to ask you because while we're on the subject of that Benson Hammond house, I've watched that video quite a few times now, and I was wanting to ask you if you noticed or if you can debunk when you were doing the session in night vision with the spirit box, and I think it was in a room. Was it near a piano or something like that?
No, there's no piano there. It was
There was some kind of unit, but there was a doorway behind you, and there is a definite shadow that moves across the door. I don't know if it was someone from your crew, but honestly, it is so clear.
Yeah, if you're what was it episode 1? The episode 1 in the investigation series, because if that's the case, there's only 2 people there.
I think it was episode 1. I think it's about it's between 5 and 8 minutes into the video because I time stamped it in my head because I remember seeing it. And I tell you, you're standing looking at the camera, and there's a doorway behind you, like as if it's going down a hallway. And on the white wall, you can clearly see as if a figure has literally walked across.
Oh,
you can see the shadow.
It wouldn't surprise me at all with that place, because in that same little hallway, you got a door here and a door here, right? Is that what you're saying? The one that has the door right back to like a little vestibule area going upstairs. Right in that same area, I seen something that I've never seen before, and it was like a, you know, at the end of an old movie, that the film would flick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, around this way, and I know it wasn't, from the camera, but I seen with my own eyes a little face pop and then pop again, and I was like, what? And that was in that doorway. And the messed up thing is, I wasn't the only one to see that. Ed saw it earlier in the evening.
Do you want to quickly explain to the viewers as well just where that house is?
Oh, that house is that's in Linthicum Heights. What's up, Sean? How are you? It was built in 1823. It is the only standing structure from the Timber Ridge era, which was a farming. It was 3. So if you're watching that session that's in there with the spinning wheel, and it says all 3 homes back, there were 3 main homes. 2 of them are gone. Right. That's the only one standing still. So
right.
Oh, wow.
Well, if you can at some point after this podcast, if you can just have a quick look at that. I'm sure it's like somewhere between 5 and 8 minutes in. You're standing literally in front of this doorway, and there is literally a black shadow that comes along the wall. And I thought to myself, it might be because I've been there when someone of your party, and you don't actually realize it's them, and you think, what the hell was that? And then when you watch it back, you think, I know what that was. You know what I mean? But honestly, it's so clear the fact.
It's a good possibility, like I said, but I will check it out. I actually have it written down right here on my paper.
Yeah.
We are in the paranormal dungeon right now. This is my
dude, I love it. I love
this is where I do my work. I got all my editing video software stuff here. Got all the stuff. I got the schedule for us.
Dude, perfect paranormal man cave. Let me just tell you.
And the
Wife
thing is, Jackie created this for me. I came in from work
Oh,
one day. I was like, "Wow, I got a paranormal office."
right? That's awesome. That's awesome. Jared, I wanted to ask you, so tell me, man, what was your first experience that got you into the paranormal? How old were you? Like,
Mhm. Yeah, that was it was very I think it happened for a reason. And I think it happened so I could do what I'm doing now. But when I was 14 years old, I found my father dead with a needle in his arm.
sorry to
And
hear that.
yeah, and he was, things happen. Um,
Yeah.
but he was buried, and I would go to the grave and I would clean the grave off, and clean the headstone off and everything, and all every weekend go, Dad, how you doing? Yada yada. Being a religious person that I am, um, I always wondered what happened to Dad. Did he?
Mm.
How is he? How's he doing? Is he in a bad place? Is he in a good place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he
And
still about that kind of thing?
I was 16 years old, and I'm sitting there cleaning the headstone off, and I just got my license, and I got a 25th anniversary Mustang, and
Wow. Nice.
my dad's first car was a 64 and a half Mustang, which was the first one. Right.
Nice.
So I we shared a like of Mustangs, and I looked up, and he was standing on the back of my quarter panel by the gas tank, leaning up against the car, and he went, and
Wow.
when that happened, I was like, "Whoa, what?" And then it was gone. And from that
Yeah.
point on, I was like, I have to figure out what the hell just happened there.
Yeah. Dude, I completely
And
understand. Like, because I lost my father in 2020, and it was an unexpected heart attack. And
mhm.
I had just gotten off the phone with him, and it was devastating. And I can't imagine how bad it could have been for someone at 16 years old. And I'm 33, gonna be 34 this year, and it was terrible at 31. So
Yeah.
I never knew what it was like. People say, I'm sorry, I'm sorry for your loss. We say that a bunch of times, especially if we have friends that have lost parents. But until you really lose a parent, you don't know that pure devastation. But
Oh,
the on a better note, what I wanted to say to you was, how amazing was it that you got to see him, and in that moment, I mean, for me, I would have been like, "Where'd you go? Come back. Wait, I just, oh, just
believe
come,
me, believe me,
I've
I
got so
have
much
tried.
to ask.
I've tried ever since, but
Yeah,
it hasn't happened. But I think it was
In
just
in a moment like that, I can only think that there'd be so many questions to ask, isn't it? It's like,
oh
you
yeah,
know, well, like you say, unfortunately for you, it was like he was there down. But it's like if you happen to look up and he's standing there, and you sort of you do the rub your eyes thing and look again,
I did
or
the
maybe
handshake and
turn away.
uh,
It's I mean, if the person, aka your dad, was still there, it's like the first thing in my mind, you know, I love you, Dad, but then it'd be like so
how
many
you there?
questions, isn't it? It's like,
Uh-huh. Hey, how are you standing there? Can you tell me?
yeah, yeah. I wouldn't have thought of that question. I would have been like, well, "Where you been?" Like, yeah. That's funny though,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, our dads must be looking down, laughing at this conversation.
Hmm. Yeah, he's probably like, yeah, I
So
remember doing that too.
yeah, right. They're probably laughing at each other, going, "Hey, how'd you freak your son out?"
he's,
You know?
he's probably
Yeah.
actually saying, "I'll get you a game when you least expect it."
Yeah,
And Dad's sitting there like, look what I did. I turned him into this.
yeah. There you go. There you go.
But
Yeah.
it's in all honesty, I obviously haven't lost a parent yet, thank God. But it must be a harrowing experience, and but to know that person is what people say is all right. Obviously you know where I'm coming from. It's hard to actually, because people will turn around and say, well, they're not all right. But to know that that person is obviously happy, is obviously looking down and looking after you, and
Mm.
you know what I mean.
I mean, people don't understand. I mean, and a lot of it is from a false belief in a religious system that and believe me, I'm ultra religious. I love my Lord and Savior,
Absolutely.
but ain't none of us going to heaven until He comes back. It says it right there in the Bible. So when we die, we don't go to heaven. We go to a holding place,
Yeah.
a transition period, if you will. We don't go to the seat until the sun comes, and I think that's what we get when you get these folks that are asking, or when we're on investigation and we're stuck. Help us, because they don't understand where they're at.
Yeah.
That's
I
why we
agree.
go in. We go in and we try to tell these folks that we're communicating with, it's fine. Keep your faith. You're at where you're supposed to be right now. Keep your faith until He comes. You'll be fine. We do that on every investigation, every ending investigation. Keep your faith. Jesus is coming. You'll be able to move on soon. And
Amen to that, man.
with the theory that time doesn't exist to them, they should be able to do that. You would think.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's funny. I mean, one thing that I always say too, like when I'm talking to someone about the paranormal, and I still have a hard time with this, but I try to like think of the spirit world, and I kind of relate it to like what we have gone through. But then again, it's like we have to constantly remember like that dimension or that plane or that world is completely different. Just like you said with time, like there's no time. It's not linear like it is here. So when I say, if I'm, not paying attention and I'm like, oh yeah, guys, I'm gonna do a session on Tuesday night at 6 p.m. They're like, yeah, all right, we'll see you then. We don't know when that
we'll
is.
be there.
But
Don't
yeah.
worry.
Yeah, we'll be there. But
Right, whatever.
but I think a lot of us forget about that sometimes when we're out on investigations, because when I watch certain people, they'll say things and I start thinking to myself, like, I think we're looking at this in the wrong way. We're thinking about this in a human perspective, So, but I
Yeah.
like how you said that time is not.
I did it one time in one of my videos, like must have been a couple of years ago now. I hadn't long started, and I was I heard about this abandoned pub that had come up, not too far from me, and I thought, right, I'm going to go and do this. And I was into the pub, and it was abandoned. The front door was lying open. It was like just walk straight in. So I was then, and I was having a look around, making sure there was no homeless, anything like that there. And upstairs would be the staff living quarters. It was like at the top of the stairs was like a creepy long corridor with these rooms off it, and I got this real heavy feeling, and I thought to myself, I got a funny feeling we're going to see something here. So what I did was I went back downstairs, I started the investigation on camera, and I kept playing in my mind, and I thought, I'm going to set a locked off camera up there. But I picked up on this spirit that was downstairs, and I was trying to communicate, and I actually found myself saying, like, hold on, give me 10 minutes to go and set this camera up. I'll come back. And I'm thinking to myself, hold on a minute, 10 minutes could be 2 hours for them.
They're standing there like, what are you talking about? What is that?
Keep an eye, go on.
Side note, has anybody ever watched the new series Ghosts on CBS?
No.
You have got to watch it. It's a comedy. It's great. It's got different period ghosts behind it, and the woman can see them because she had a near-death experience. Right. So we're on and it's a comedy. It makes you laugh, and we're on investigation, and I'm sitting there, and my fiance Jackie just breaks out and laughing in nowhere, like out of nowhere, like laughing. I'm like, the hell happened to you? You possessed? Wait a minute, what the fuck? What's going on? She's like, no, I just thought as when we're sitting there doing the spirit box session, all the ghosts standing around us like on, on the show trying to get in and talk to us.
Oh, my
Oh, crazy.
God.
You gotta watch it.
I have a
Hello.
friend that's been out, and I haven't had the chance to, but I tell you what, it sounds like a great show, though. To be honest, it does.
I watched it the whole time with a smile on my face. You know,
Awesome. I gotta check it out.
that's a
Then.
good show. That
Wha-
anytime
wha-
you can
wait, what,
smile is a
what was the name
Uh,
of it again?
good. Ghosts.
Oh, it was just called
Just
Ghost, and
Ghosts.
you said it was on what?
Yep.
What?
CBS. Yep. It's
CBS.
on
Okay, yeah, that's okay.
Thursday
The
at
one that I'm
9
thinking
o'clock.
of.
Thursday
Nice.
at
Okay,
9 on
cool.
CBS. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, but Jackie broke into laugh because she thought about all the ghosts that were on the body. Remember, she's still.
Oh man, that's funny. I gotta check it out because I guarantee a lot of everyone that I talk to that have told me about the show has said that like
Yeah.
it's so relatable to what we do. Like you know,
Oh,
but
it
it's
is.
funny.
It is.
You know.
Like the one, it is. It's so relatable. The husband can't see him, but she can, right? The wife can.
Yeah.
And they're sitting there watching basketball, and the husband's like, "Is he there?" Like one of the ghosts likes to watch basketball with the husband, and the husband asks the wife,
Yeah.
"Is he there?" And she's like, "Yeah, he's here." And
Yeah.
he's like, "High five!" He
Awesome.
tries to high five the ghost, and he asks the wife if they high fived, and she's like, "Yeah, you got him."
Oh my gosh, it's too funny.
Pretty cool. Good stuff.
Jared, I wanted to ask you, out of all your guys' investigations that you guys have done and are that you so I'll just say the ones right now. If I don't know if there's any that you don't have on YouTube at the moment, but um all the ones that are on at the moment, okay, if there is some that aren't on YouTube at the moment, what was your most intense one in your opinion?
Intense.
Activity wise or whatever.
Yeah, so my favorite location is the Benson Hammond house, only because we get so much interaction. But if you watch episode 3, part 1, that was the first time that place has ever been investigated, and it was like they were crawling on top of each other to try to get through to talk. Like
I
it
was
was
gonna say,
like
you were saying,
Wow.
it was like they were like, no, it's my turn, it's my turn. No, you know,
Mhm.
and the feeling like we didn't have an escort that night. We were allowed to stay as late as we wanted to. This was the home of Commodore Isaac Mayo, um,
oh well.
an awesome historic location dating back to 1724. So
Wow.
we were able to no escort, no anything. It was just so intense. And when we walked in there, just it was. I mean, if you listen, I got goosebumps thinking about that night right now.
Oh,
The interactions on that, man, especially knowing that Commodore Isaac Mayo was said to commit suicide, but I don't think that he did. Uh, he told us he didn't. Um, but he had a British accent, and coming through the Echo Box, it said it was 2 black people in a British accent. The Echo
wow.
Box didn't have a British accent. You know what
Wow.
I'm saying?
You know, that's the one thing. That's the one thing that I really look for because I like. Okay, so with Coventry Circle Paranormal, the group that I have, I went from the traditional, investigator, researcher that I wanted to. How are you, Parasolo?
What
I
up,
wanted
That's
to.
hard to
I started.
That's another AAP
Oh,
raid.
good to see you guys, AAP. Thank you for checking it out. But Jared, what I was saying was, one of the things was I went from being like a traditional, investigator researcher where I would go and do, full-fledged like, investigations and stuff like that, which I still do. But my main thing that I've switched to in the past few years is the spirit communication aspect, because one of the things I look for with using spirit boxes and frequencies and different ways of communication from 1950 styles to all the way up to what we have now, like the apps, Echo Vox, stuff like that.
Mhm.
I always look for that vocal tone or that those accents sense or whatever. Like, and if you ever
Exactly.
record a, you should, I mean, you know, from a spirit box session, when you listen to the whole entire session from beginning to end, they're like telling a story almost, you know, like you're having a
Exactly.
conversation, you know, throughout the whole
Like,
thing. And it's amazing when you're truly connecting. So
no, and we don't go in and provoke or anything. We always try to be as respectful as we can until we're
same here.
disrespected, and I think that's why we get so much interaction. But like you
Absolutely.
were saying, we were doing the Howard County Historical a few years back, not episode two's investigation, but a
Yeah.
few years back. And that place was very big in the War of 1812 around here. And the British soldiers in the War of 1812 had German Hessian German Hessian soldiers that they hired to come
Mhm.
help them. And we were talking
Wow.
about the War of 1812, and I have an EVP where it says Guten Zeit. Now, anybody that knows German, I don't until we found out. I'm an Irish
Yeah.
boy from
Yeah.
Pasadena. I don't speak German. Guten
Yeah. No,
Zeit
I've heard
means
that word, but
good
I don't speak it either. Yeah. I could barely
time. I
speak
mean,
English. so-
it means good time. So the German Hessian soldier thought that the War of 1812, and you could hear the vocal tone and the accent, and you could tell that was a German saying good time. And
That's awesome.
we
Right.
didn't hear it with our ears. That was just straight EVP.
That's awesome. You know, and it's so crazy because you constantly get people that always say, we were just having this conversation with our last guest on Tuesday, um, Brian John and Brian Laverty and Lex Anderson. And I tell you, we were saying how people always say, how come they always speak in English, you know? And it's funny because literally, like, we've done experiments and now you've had this experience, you know,
Mhm.
this just goes to prove that they don't always speak in English. You know what I mean? I think a lot of the
We've
reasons in
gotten
the
a lot
theory
of German.
is because of
We've gotten
the
a lot.
spirit, you know, in spirit form knows our consciousness and knows how to relate to us in our form of communication. But then again, like you said, like, you know, you've gotten that before. I've gotten some foreign stuff. We've even taken foreign audio and reversed it and you know, whatever, and
Mhm.
put it through a portal, completely foreign language that I don't even know how to speak. And they were coming out in full sentences, you know, and my buddy made a video on it, and I
Mhm.
just I find it absolutely amazing. But what do you think is truly going on there? Do you think like the theory that what I have is like they know from the connection of our spirit of our consciousness energy that, you know, we speak English and that's what we understand? Or what is your view on that, Jared?
I think, and because we've gotten a lot of German, um,
That's awesome.
especially in our area. Like German was
Hmm.
big in our area back in the day. A lot of
Yeah,
Polish, uh, but for your theory, yeah, I think what you are, you carry that over, basically. You know what
absolutely.
I'm saying? So when you get English speaking, it's because we're in America and we've got an English speaking
Yeah,
society. However,
yeah,
when we do get little bits and pieces, then you have uh, your foreign, you know,
yeah.
uh, but that is a good theory. That is a good theory.
See,
So
Communicating with us
in
because they miss
Canada,
a
yeah, in
go ahead.
Canada, you might get a lot of French then as well, wouldn't you? With being French Canadians and stuff.
Mhm. Yep.
but see, you know what's
So
funny? You know what's funny about that is that Steve O's in Canada. You know, Brian's in Canada. They get straight English all the time. So I'm wondering, you know, and just I'm and this like obviously I don't know, that's not 100%, but I was just always wondering because I was watching a video the other day of a girl who lives in the US, but you know, grew up speaking Spanish, and she does her spirit box sessions in Spanish, but with English apps, and they come out and speak Spanish back to her and won't even speak English to her. So I always wondered about that. So what do you think, Jared? What do you think's going on? You know, do you think they're just connecting with the individual, the operator?
Possibly, or the ones that realize that, hey, I can't communicate with this person are being quiet.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
going back to what you were saying with that app, if anybody has ever checked out the Scottish Paranormal Spirit Box app, that's also on Google. That's the only other app that we use is the Scottish Paranormal. If you see us
Yeah.
on the battlefield, sometimes I break out the Scottish Paranormal, but that is
It's a great app.
made with Scottish audiobooks. So it should have that Scottish accent. We bring it over here, and I don't get the Scottish accent. How?
Isn't that
How did
wild?
that happen? You take it to the house, you take it back to my house, and I have the the accent on the app. I take it to a
Yeah.
place that's active, and we're starting to get interaction. That Scottish accent is gone.
It's wild.
Yeah,
It's
it
wild.
is-
Yeah.
and that is a clear example of spirit manipulating the box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Clear.
awesome.
I mean, that's why we do it, though. That's
Yeah,
why we
you're
do
right.
it for stuff like that. You know,
I tell you
I
what,
love the
man,
stuff that makes you go, "How'd that happen?"
yeah, dude. Tell me what, man. I mean, I know for me, I'm coming up next year. I believe this will be 9 years, 8 or 9 years this year. So in like a year or 2 years, it'll be a decade for me doing this research. For you being in it 25, you tell me, do you still get that adrenaline rush like I do when you hear an amazing response?
Oh my goodness, hell yeah!
Right?
I'm still like a
Oh
kid in
my,
the candy store. You know what I mean? Brent,
yeah, me too. That's
we'll
exactly what I said. Oh my God.
we'll call it me and Brent, or I'll come up to Jackie like, "Honey, listen to this," or Brent will call me up on a dude, you've got to go check this out. I'm like, oh, or
Yeah,
Oh,
when you hear it on investigations, my favorite. That's when you DVP, you know, a disembodied voice. That's my favorite. When if you're watching episode 3, part 1, I hear a child say yes, and I flip out. Like, too weird.
dude, you acted like how I
And
acted.
the
When
thing
something
is,
crazy happens. I jumped down, dude. Man, I totally understood you in that moment.
the
with
thing is that
the whole accent thing as well. Sorry, Jared. With the
yeah,
whole accent thing as well, it's just sometimes AJ and me on it will go on a video call and we'll do a spirit box session over a video call. And
mhm,
remember the one time, AJ, when you said to me, "Who do you want to ask is there?" And I asked if a very close family friend of ours who was from the south of England but
mhm.
lived over with some of my family in Belfast, Northern Ireland. And we actually asked because she had passed not long ago if she was there, and
Mhm.
she came back. And AJ, you'll confirm this. She came back and she said my name. She went Robin, and it was in her English voice.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. It was
That's good
weird. It was
stuff there,
definitely weird.
man.
And
That's
It's
that
good
was
weird.
stuff.
at AJ's end in Connecticut.
Yeah, all the way
Oh,
over across seas. It was wild through a video call. Yeah, it was, and I didn't even know what answers we were looking for because I didn't ask him any, to find out any of the answers. And all of a sudden they start freaking out and I hear the same thing, and they're like, "That was their voice. That was their voice." And I'm like, "We're using a PSP7. What?" Like, But
very
so
cool.
so cool, man. So cool. But to our viewers, I want to shout out again and plug in Jared's YouTube channel. Go to Jared Tracy, Pasadena Paranormal on YouTube. You'll be able to find their stuff. It's absolutely amazing. They put a lot of work in to their videos. They give you history in some of their videos. I mean, it's just amazing. Go check out their stuff. They are an amazing team who takes this seriously. And just meeting you, man, and getting to speak to you before this and now this. We're gonna bring Jared and his team in on International Group of Researchers, so that he can come and share all their stuff on that platform as well as share some stuff on Talking with the Source. Jared, I can't thank you enough for coming on.
Yep.
Robin, go ahead and ask another question.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to shout that out for every
No,
viewer.
No, absolutely.
I appreciate
One
this.
hundred percent. And
Go ahead, Robin.
hopefully you'll come on again sometime. And
Definitely. Definitely.
yeah. Well, what I was wanting to ask, and this is another thing you've just reminded me of a little ago, and I've been meaning to speak to AJ about this as well. Was when you said about you were at the graveyard cleaning your father's headstone.
Hmm.
Now, do you believe that? How can I put it? Right. For instance, I'll give you an example. Right.
Hmm.
In in Belfast, we have in the centre of the town we have what we call the city hall. Right.
Yeah.
And around that city hall, there's all these different memorials for like the war and this, that, and the other, made out of white marble, right?
Hmm.
Now, there's one particular memorial made out of white marble, and it's for the Titanic, right? Because obviously it was built in Belfast and stuff like that. So obviously it sank and all the people were lives were lost and stuff. So they put a memorial up, right? Like a
Hmm.
statue. Now, what I was trying to get at was all the memorials around the city hall, including that one, had all stayed, obviously you do get a bit of grubbiness here and there, but had all stayed white, right? When
Yeah.
when the Titanic was found, and obviously certain people who went down to it, the video and stuff, started green moss all over that statue. And if people went over and cleaned it all off, it grew again. And the rest of them, all the other statues, all remain normal. But I mean, I used to go into Belfast every Saturday because I live just outside it, and I've been around that hundreds of times, and I've seen personally with my own eyes the green moss on it. But that
Yeah.
only started whenever, because obviously they call it technically a grave site below the sea, don't they? But so they technically say people are disturbing it when they bring the artifacts up. But this is what I'm trying to get at. Do you believe that, you know, if people were to say go in somewhere and maybe like try and deface a headstone, that spirits can sort of show that, make stuff like, do you know where I'm coming from? Like, make stuff, maybe some kind of a moss or weed or something grow up so that it's like, leave it alone.
That's a tough one right there. That's some deep thinking right there.
Yeah, right. I
Uh,
know.
I would have to say further research is needed there. But if you think about it, I mean, if they have the energy enough to manipulate a physical object, then why not? You know what I'm saying? If they have
Yeah.
the energy to move a door or to move a glass or to shut, a cabinet door and open it, why couldn't
Mhm.
they do that as well? I mean, there's nothing normal about this field that we're in.
No.
No.
Yeah, so
It's just weird.
I
The
would
thing about
have
it
to
is,
say
it's
that,
just weird. It's just
yeah,
weird.
it's definitely weird.
To walk around that city hall and all these statues for memorials thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you walk around and you see them, and then you get to the Titanic one, and it's got
Hmm.
green moss on it, and they say
Hmm.
that only started growing when they started bringing artifacts.
Very interesting. Well,
Yeah.
Robin, I'm gonna have to say that you're gonna have to do some more research on
Yeah.
Yeah,
that.
right. Yeah. Tell me
You're gonna
about
have to
that.
go there,
Hey,
do a few ITC sessions, and ask some questions. Try to get some, stack
amen to
that
that.
evidence up.
Hey, I tell you what, he almost made me nervous. That was the most hard he's ever thought in his life. So I got nervous for a second there.
Yeah, I need to go for a lie down soon.
I got we got to mess with each other. It's all he does to me, so I got to get him back. Jared. But listen, I know that I know that you have a lot you got to do today, but again, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you coming on. One of the things I wanted to ask though before we end up starting to wrap things up in a few, was what do you guys have in store for 2022, man? Can you give us any locations you're going to, any hints, anything coming up? Tell me. Oh, did he freeze on us? Hold on. Oh, I think we lost him. Hold on.
Right back, hopefully.
Yeah, no. Hello, you there? Oh, we lost him. Yep, we lost him. He'll be back in a second. Look at that.
Funny that, isn't it?
I asked such a great question. Our guest disappeared. I am
No, it's
friggin'
funny
dead.
how I was saying about Spirit manipulating stuff growing because stuff gets happened. All of a sudden, he's timed out.
Yeah, see, I don't know, man. We're just full of the paranormal on this channel, I guess.
But yeah,
Well,
AJ, I'll get you that. I'll get you that rainbow banner for behind you.
Oh, okay, thanks. I appreciate it. Well, anyway, I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to get back on because he hasn't come back on yet. But with us, we'll let him in. But anyway, I just want. I mean, Jared's an amazing person, dude. I'm super happy we had him on.
Absolutely, yeah. I've known him for a while now, but I've watched his. He does. If you go and check out on his Facebook lives as well, and I've done, and I've spoke to him through message and stuff on that. Like I say, he also does go on sometimes to another one of our great friends at Talking with the Source here, AAP Variety Channel. We'll give them a shout out. There he is, back again.
Absolutely.
I think a damn spirit manipulated my computer.
Yeah,
He just froze.
Robin just said it.
I don't know, man. It just
Okay,
all of a
listen,
sudden it
since
just popped and the whole screen went blank, and I was like, "What the hell?" I had to turn it back on.
you stuck at we had you stuck at a laugh/smile. It was perfect. But anyway, so I don't know if you heard my question, but the question that I wanted to ask you before we wrap it up was, what does Pasadena Paranormal have for 2022 coming up? Can you give us any hints, location investigation or hints, anything, whatever, or if you could just leave us with some tips, whatever. Well, that looks like there's a good amount on there. I just
He's got his whiteboard out. He's getting serious now.
yeah, he's serious.
In May,
Say it again.
we're gonna take the rest of April and May off to try to. We have episode 4, which is a 2-parter. Episode 5 coming out, which is a 2-parter. Episode 6, which is a 2-parter. We got all those to be coming out still.
Awesome.
So we're gonna take off April and May and try to catch up. On the 11th, we'll be at the B&O Railroad Museum in Ellicott City. Now, this is an old railroad depot from 17 or 18, early 1800s.
Awesome.
And this investigation is going to be awesome because me and Jackie and the kids went there one day as a group, a day tour. I was like, oh man, I gotta investigate this place. So I reached out to them and we got it. So
Listen, gave me one more question now. People, whether not beginner or you are beginner, it doesn't really matter. How do you get into these museum places? What is the best way of going about it? Because a lot of the times you're getting people breaking in places, and then a lot of people won't allow people in anymore because people have vandalized stuff. So what is the best way that you could tell a person, someone beginning, of how to go about getting legit investigations and getting into these locations like yourself?
The first thing that I would try to tell them is this: that never sell yourself short. Always play yourself up. Go in there with respect for the location, but also a itinerary on what you want done. It's also good to have your work speak for itself. And once you get in with one or two of these societies, you're pretty easy to go for the rest. I mean, these societies, they hang out, and don't be afraid to start working relationship with the society. Like, offer help. Hey, do you need us to come help move something for Christmas, or be friends with respect? And I mean, Benson Hammond had a big pine tree that fell over on one of the outhouses from the 1800s. It didn't damage it, but it was there. Somebody wanted them wanted to charge them $1,400 to cut it down. I got one of my
Wow.
buddies to do it for 600. You know,
Hey,
it's the stuff you do. You got to work with them, you know. So once you get
Exactly.
that work relationship, you could say, "Hey, I don't have anything going on this Saturday. I know it's Tuesday, but can I come investigate?" And they're like, "Sure, come on in." You know?
awesome advice, and I appreciate you sharing that with us because, especially up in Connecticut, we have a lot of people that break places. It just causes more to be watched, and
Yeah, you'll never see Pasadena Paranormal doing an investigation that is not approved. You also
yeah,
never see Pasadena Paranormal posting a video that is not approved. Uh, we work differently than a lot of people. You know, we're respectful to every aspect of our relationship with our locations, and I want to control. I wanted to control the this region, little this little plot of land, the paranormal, uh, you know, highway. I want
hey,
to be the one. I don't want people saying there's demons in my locations. So
yep.
if somebody's going to come in there and say, "Oh, there's demons here," guess what? You ain't investigating it. You know?
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, hey, I totally get what you're saying. We have
Hey,
Spectral.
Spectral.
What's up, Spectral?
Spectral, Debbie, Billborn.
Hey, we were just actually
No,
talking.
I get what you mean. I really do. It's there's there's so much fakery in this, and there's so much vandalism in this field, and you know, you want about what's wrong in the field and what's not right, like that. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, at the end of the day, we're all in it for the same thing, for the data, for everything.
If you're not in this field to make it a better place by the work that you do, then you're doing it wrong. That's what everybody should be working together so we don't look like jerks when we go up to try to talk to these people about locations. That's why we got to call these people that are making us look bad.
Yeah,
Amen.
I know. There's the door.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
and that's, you know, I'm very happy that invited me into that group, and
Igor.
maybe we can, you know, put our blinders on to the fakers and stuff, and then shut down out of this field.
that's
So
it.
are you
That's
two guys? Are you actually far from each other then? Because I don't think Maryland's that far from Connecticut, is it?
About 6
a
hours.
few. Yeah, it's not too far. Not
Yeah.
too far. It's next. Yeah, it'll probably have to take a drive. Other than that, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it's
not going
about
to take the
6
whole 6 hours. Yeah.
They
There's
are.
there's a nice little caboose restaurant up there. I think it was close to Bridgeport that had one hell of a lobster bisque.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm
Maritime
talking
Canteen.
about? Huh?
It was a Maritime. Was it the
Yep.
Maritime?
Yep.
Best
I love
burgers,
that
best
place, dude. And the lobster roll.
dude, and it's not that expensive.
They got all those
But
craft
anyway,
sodas and the pizza.
agree.
Woo.
I
And
You
agree.
can go there now. I can't. That's not fair.
I
while they're talking food,
next time, come on. That's all right. I'll send you some in the mail. You know what I mean? So we're good. We're good. You know, hey Jared, before you go, I appreciate you once again for coming on. I'm gonna, talk to
absolutely.
you after this.
Robin.
What I'll do is I'll hit you up later tonight. We'll get going with everything. I'm gonna make you a page, roll like we talked about earlier and do all that.
Okay.
We'll get that going. But I'll let you get back to what you got to do today for work. I want to get coming on. Before you go though, please plug whatever you'd like for your group. Tell all our viewers how they can check us out, and where they can find out all updates and news, please.
No, oh, well, our update and news page is the Facebook page, Pasadena Paranormal. Um, that's where we give dates and news and stuff. Also, our community tab on YouTube, we give updates for that as well. But I would really like to push, like the folks to go see the investigation series. You go to the channel. There's 4 videos that are the investigation. That is our documentary series. That is our edited full length investigations. I'd like people to see those more and check those out and leave your thoughts on how we do and how we handle ourselves.
Absolutely. And
Listen.
can I just say as well, anybody watch well and yourself, Jack, that idea about from the Benson Hammond house.
Well done. I have it.
That shadow.
Right there.
Yeah. It's
Yep.
even self.
Yeah.
It's near the start of the video.
I will.
It's so clear. To me, it means sometimes you can have if you got someone with you that's working on another camera and they're it's that clear.
Yeah, like I said, it wouldn't surprise me, but I got it written down. I'm gonna look at. I still got to do episode 4, part 1, and part 2.
And a message and let me know anyway. What would you what do you think?
We'll do.
All right, my friend, brother, for coming on. We'll
Thank
definitely
you.
you on again, and we'd love to
Thank
have
you
the
for
whole
having
team
me.
on bike. So
Anytime.
yeah, anytime, man. Please. We'll definitely.
I'll
Um,
It's hard to
and
get Brent out
everyone-
here. 'Cause he's in South Carolina, but we can.
him do it from his house. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll
his
ask him. He gets
location.
nervous over it. Brent's getting
En Bookheim, en 24 horas de prime time.
The following is a Spirit Box session recorded by Mr. AAP. And AAP Jr. on the evening of Thursday, Miracle Box app to record this session in Bath Township, Michigan, at the site of the old Bath Consolidated School. The words that we deciphered on 110 out of 117 questions are merely suggestions, and you may hear differently. Simply comment below and let us know what you hear. The Bath School disaster, also known as the Bath School Massacre. The attacks took place by Andrew Kehoe on May 18, 1927, in Bath Township, Michigan. 38 kids and 7 adults were violently killed, and over 58 were injured. Prior to the 8:45 a.m. school bombing by dynamite, Andrew actually girdled his trees by clipping the bases, each on the base of all his grapevines, and replaced them back as if nothing had happened. He then wired his horse's feet together and set the barn ablaze with them inside. He took his wife to a garden cart, smashed her skull, and set her body on fire, and proceeded to load his Model T Ford with shrapnel, nails, and dynamite. He wired 900 pounds of dynamite inside the Bath Consolidated School, set on timers to coincide with his house to explode over a period of time. He showed up 20 to 30 minutes after the initial school explosion. He proceeded to shoot one bullet into his Model T and was officially the world's first suicide car bomber. We have received direct correlation in our recordings with names that appear on the dedicated plaque out at Bath, Michigan. Again, all of the words that we deciphered on these questions are merely suggestions. However, there is direct correlation to the massacre that day. Please listen carefully and again, comment below and let us know what you hear.
Are there any children spirits out here that died at the Bath Massacre? Do you have anything you would like to say? How many spirits are out here? Are there many spirits here? Did you die in an explosion in the Bath Massacre? How many children are here? Do you have a message that you would like to share with everyone? What is your name? Can you tell me your name? How are you? It's here right now. Do you miss your parents? Is it peaceful where you are? How many friends do you have? Do you like playing outside? Do you like the squirrels that run around here? Are there girl and boy spirits here? How many little girl spirits are here? How many little boy spirits are here? Are there 10 little boy spirits here? I can hear you talking. Can you communicate with me? What is your name? How old are you? Do you love having birthday parties? Do you like it out here? Do you miss your mommy and daddy? Do the little boy spirits pick on you? Do y'all like to play hide and go seek? Do you have any brothers or sisters? Or to talk? I will try to talk with the little boys next. Is that okay? Are there any little male spirits here? How old are you? What is your name, buddy? Can you tell me your name? I come in peace. Are you 9 years old? Did you say your name is Willie? That's awesome. We are here to communicate with you. Do you have anything you would like to say? Do you miss your mom and dad? What is your favorite game? Do you like playing tag? Do you like picking on the little girls? How many spirits are here with you? Is it peaceful here? We really enjoy you talking with us. Is your name Willie?
There's not a Willie, there's a Willa. There's a Willa on the plaque. Not a Willie, a Willa.
Is your name Willa? We read it on the plaque. Is this Willa? Willa, how old are you?
You won't believe what I got.
Do you have many friends in the spirit world with you? Willa, can you see a light? Thank you for communicating with us, buddy. We will be back to talk with you again soon. Willa, how old are you? Willa, do you pick on the little girls? Do you like playing on the swing set? Okay, buddy. Much love. I hope you have a good night. You are truly missed, and we are terribly sorry for what happened to you. Are you happy where you're at? Are you happy here? Okay, good night, buddy. We will come back and talk to you again, okay? Thank you for speaking. You leave those little girls alone now. Good night, buddy. Take care. Are there any teachers here that died in the bomb blast? If you're a teacher that was at Bath School, can you tell me your name? What was your name as a teacher at Bath? Did you die in an explosion here? Did an evil man blow this building up with kids and teachers? Can you come forward and tell me your name? You can use my energy if you need to. What was your name? Did you die unexpectedly?